I'm Gary from Gold Mining Basics. In this video, we'll be heading up to the claim to work on the basics of crevicing. Crevicing is how most of us got our start. The startup costs are really low because there's not much you need in the way of tools. Even though it doesn't take much in the way of tools, experience-wise, that's a different story. You still have to know your placer geology, your river dynamics, mineral recognition, and a lot more to find gold consistently. Now, I don't know it all by any means, but I have learned from some really great miners over the years, and I've been doing this for 50+ years. I'm going to be taking my backpack with us today. I don't think we're going to need any other tools other than just the basic tools I take every time I go. There's a couple of things I want to go over before we head up. The number one question I get is where to go. All I can tell you is do your research. The area that you want to go, pick out an area you'd like to go and check the old newspapers, mining bulletins. There's all kinds of historical documents you can go over that'll let you know how much gold they found, the size of the gold, and that'll really aid you when you go up and actually start looking for it. I spend hundreds of hours every winter doing my research for what I want to do the following summer. The other thing is, when you go out, make sure the area you're prospecting is open to prospecting. If you're on private property, ask permission. If there's a claim sign, get a hold of the claim owner. You'll find that most miners are really nice people, and you can get permission to go on their claim. Some of them may want a percentage, some of them may not have a problem. But in my years, the people that were hard to deal with, I can count on one hand. Well, that pretty much covers the basic stuff we're going to need. I think we need to get going. We're burning daylight, and I want to find some gold. Okay, we've made the drive in without any problems. Now we got to grab the pack and head on down the hill. This is a little tougher hike than the last one, but we want to get where the good gold is. All right. Okay, we made the hike in. Coming in is not a bad hike. Probably won't be saying that on the way out. But we're down on the river now. Going to do a little walking around, see what we can find, take a look at the different gravels, see if we can find us a good spot to mine. Okay, we've got us a pretty nice spot right here. If you look upstream, you can see Upstream we got a lot of large, big boulders, real heavy stuff. The river makes a real sharp turn right there. After it makes that turn, it widens out right there and it's dropping all those big stones. And then as it comes through here, there's not much to catch the big rocks. The rocks that are in here are fairly heavy rocks, well worn. This would be a real good spot. That gold is traveling right through here. So we just need to find a nice catch, and we'll take a look for a good crevice, and then we'll start working that. Now in this area right here, we have a lot of exposed bedrock, and everything's well worn. We have some nice gravel right over here, big boulders. A good indication that there could be some nice gold right in here. Now we're going to see if we can locate us a nice crevice in this area somewhere. Right in this area it looks pretty good. So we're going to see if we can find one and get to work. Okay, we got a little crevice here I'd like to take a look at. Problem is I got a nice big heavy rock on top of it. Hopefully my pry bar is going to help me get that off of there. So let's see if we can move this, and we'll go from there. Okay, got the little ones out of the way. Let's see if we can get the big one out of the way. Gotta love that GP18. Now you can see we got some of the rocks out of here, and we got this opened up a little bit. What we want to do, get in here and dig all this out in here. Now this gravel is sitting on top here. This stuff you can just rake out of the way. Don't even worry about it. There's no gold in it. You can just go ahead and pull that top back and not even have to mess with it. Okay, now we got to grab the pan, and we'll start filling that pan up. Now I went ahead and got my gloves on, because when you're doing crevicing, you're going to do a lot of digging in the gravel with your hands. So you want to protect your fingertips, otherwise you'll wear them down smooth. Now as I'm digging this out, I'm noticing I got a lot of sand in here, and that's not a good thing. Usually when you come across sand, that means your gold is dropped out before that point. So we'll go ahead and dig down. Could be some sand laying on top, some packed gravel. You don't really know that till you get to the bottom. Okay, now it's starting to look like we are getting a little bit of a crevice going down here. That's a good thing, but I'm still not seeing packed gravel. And unless we find that packed gravel, we're not going to find any nuggets. We might find some plug gold, but you got to have that packed gravel for nuggets. Okay, now this area up here doesn't look real good. This area down here is starting to look better, so we're going to have to back up a little bit and work a little bit lower. Okay, right down in here you can see we're starting to get a crevice opening up. Now we got a little bit of water in it, and that's bad. It's really hard to get gold out of water. But we're going to go ahead and scratch out a little bit, and then we'll take it down and pan it and see if we're picking up anything. See if this is worth continuing on or not. Okay, we've got one pan of gravel here. What we're going to do is we're going to pan this out The crevice doesn't look real good to me, so what I want to do is take a sample pan. If we find some gold, then we'll look further. If not, we'll move on. You don't want to spend too much time on one crevice. You want to make sure there's gold in it, because it takes a while to work a crevice, and if you spend all day working a crevice no good, you're not going to go home with much. So don't be afraid to test pan and then get out of there and go to another one if there's nothing in that one. Okay, we're going to take a look at this pan. Make sure you wash those roots off real well. Like I say, as a general rule, you're not going to find any nuggets in there, but you'll definitely find some flood gold. Well, I'm not seeing much black sand. And there's a few little tiny specks in there, but not enough to worry about, so I'm saying let's move on. What I wanted to show you right here is a really good example of don't look at the river as it's looking today. You have to look at the river when you're looking for a place to crevice. You have to look at the river at high water, at flood stage. The water would be 15, 20 feet over our head. This spot right here where I'm standing, about, I don't know, 10, 15 years ago, this was a 10-foot deep hole right here, and I found a 2-ounce nugget down here sniping. And right now I'm standing on a gravel bar. So it just shows you in, that small amount of time how much this river has changed. So when you're looking at the river, don't look at it as it is right now. You want to imagine it with 30 feet of water over your head, just flowing like crazy. And that's when the gold's moving, that's when the gold's going to be deposited. Here's an example of a real common mistake you want to avoid. This looks like a nice crevice right here. We have good hard packed gravel. We're on the inside of the turn. We got a rock right here that's jammed in there, that's blocking the flow. That gold can kick right in here and settle out. That's what a lot of people think. But when this river is flowing and the gold's moving, that rock's not there. It's moving. This area here, the water's just blasting through here. You have to find a spot behind the bedrock where the gold can flip in behind here and drop out. Problem is, we're on a high point here. Now you'll find a little bit of gold here, but you're not going to find any nice pieces. You'll find some flood gold in here. You're going to find very little gold here. And we're going to dig some of this out and pan it, and just to make sure. I've been wrong before, but as a general rule, this is not a good spot to waste your time at. Okay, we've got this dug down quite a ways, and we got that gravel broke loose. We're gonna go ahead and take and fill a pan up here. Want to get all the way down to the bottom of that crevice. Make sure you get every rock pried out of there. Now the bottom of the crevice actually doesn't look half bad. It's nice and rough. It's got rocks jammed in are pretty good. We'll find out here in a minute. All right, let's take this down and see what we got. Okay, let's have a look-see here and see if this crevice is going to make a liar out of me. The one thing I've learned is nothing's guaranteed. You know, you got your rules you go by, and 9 times out of 10, those rules are correct. But I've found gold in some of the strangest spots where they had no business being there. But that's not the general rule. If you stick to the general rule, you're going to find a lot more gold, unless you have a lot of time to look for gold. But myself personally, I got such a small amount of time that I want to you know, work my best chances. Now you can see here we got nothing. Not even a speck of gold. So that, during the flood stage, that water's just blasting through there and not laying anything in there. Now here we have a small crevice that I kind of like doing these because they're quick and easy. It's running uphill at a pretty good angle, but it's with the flow of the river and it pinches out up here. So when you have that pinching up here, your gold has a tendency with being washed up this crevice. When it gets up to that pinching area, the water gets compressed, and that causes a high pressure right here and allows the gold to just sit here and work and drop back in. And these are they're quick, easy crevices to work, so I just like doing them. But the downside is this stuff is really packed in here, and it takes quite a bit of work to get it out. But as a general rule, a crevice like this, you can clean it out in 15-20 minutes and see if it's worth anything. Some of them you'll find nothing, others I've done quite well in. That rock's going to be a little tougher. Gonna have to get the hammer and bar on this one. Just get it to wiggle. If you can get it to wiggle, then it'll come out. Yeah, we got it wiggling. Now, the trick is if the bottom's smooth, then we're probably not going to find anything. If the bottom's rough, okay. We got a fairly good looking bottom. Okay, we'll dig some of this out and take it down and pan it. Okay, let's take a look here and see if all our work was worthwhile. It was a good looking crevice to me. It had, you know, you can look at these rocks I'm pulling out. They're heavy, they're hard, well worn. Just good looking gravel, packed in there tight. Hopefully we're going to get something out of there. Only thing I'm worried about is normally you'll see a piece of gold when you're digging it out. I didn't see anything as I was digging, so but that don't mean it's not there. I already have black sand starting to show up. That's a good sign. Oh, there's a piece of gold right there. There's another one right there. So it definitely has some gold in it. Get around here and see what we got. Oh yeah, we got a little bit showing up on the side there. I'm not seeing any nuggets showing up. Oh yeah, we got a little bit of gold, a little bit of lead. Oh, not bad at all. Got several nice pieces there, a few pieces of lead, but we'll take it. Okay, we've moved upstream a bit, and we got a spot right here that looks pretty nice to me. You can see where the river's making a bend, and you see these big boulders all laid in here, right around that bend. Well, that gold's going to be hugging that side of the river. And so we're going to go down there and see if we can find us a nice crevice. We want to try to get as close to the water as we can, because the closer you get to the bottom of the river, the bigger the gold you're going to find. So let's head down there and see what we got. Right here we have a nice looking crevice. We have good hard packed gravel here. The bedrock blocks the flow and allowing the gold to drop in here. There's a low spot in the bedrock right here that funnels the gold right in here. Once in here, it'll have a hard time getting out. This one looks good. Let's go grab the tools and get to work. Okay, we're getting down there a ways now. We gotta get these rocks. They're really jammed in here. And all this lighter stuff, just scrape it off the top and just get rid of it. There's no gold in it, no sense spending time trying to pan it out. Your gold's down there in the bottom. Now we got this crevice dug down there quite a ways. I'm not sure if the camera's showing this, it being in the shade, but we're down here and we got quite a hole down here. Now right here you can see we got a nice deep crevice going, and we're going to be working this thing all the way down. And these rocks that are down in here, I'm not sure how good the camera's picking this up, but there's we got these rocks way down in here, and we're going to go ahead and pull all this out of here. And takes quite a while, because you got to get every little piece of gravel out of that crack. We'll just go ahead and dig this on out and see what we got. Okay, we panned that pan out, and we did find a few pieces of gold in there. You can see them right there. Nothing to write home about, but still nice gold. So we're going to keep digging, see if we can get to the bottom of this crevice, see if there's some more gold down there. Okay, now we're getting down to the bottom of this crevice, but what I wanted to show you here was these rocks. See how these things are just packed in there? You really got to pry to get them out, and that's what you're looking for. You want a crevice that's just packed tight, where you got to really work to get the rocks out of there, and then you know you got something. Okay, we're getting down there now. See, we got good heavy rock. There's how shiny that rock is. That lets you know that it's a heavy rock. And when those are down at the bottom of the crevice, you know at least you got heavy stuff in there. We know we found a little gold up higher, so hopefully there's more down below. Okay, we're going to keep on digging until we get to the bottom. Now with the light the way it is, I'm not really sure if you're going to be able to see what I'm looking at here or not. This we got down to the bottom of the hole here, right down in here, and we can see that's as far as the crack goes. Now you want to make sure that you get every bit of dirt you can possibly scrape out of there, because that's what we spent all this time and work to get to. That's where your biggest gold's going to be. And this is where your Huntley spoon comes in handy, because you can reach right down in there and just scoop that out. What I do is just scoop it out and pop it in your hand there and throw that in the pan. That's where your best gold's going to be. So you want to make sure you get every bit of that out. And this takes a little bit of time, but you spend all the time getting here. You don't want to cut yourself short now. All right, here you can see that we've dug up a piece of iron here. I can get it over here where I can see it. But that's a good sign, because that means there's the heavies are dropping in there, so that's a good sign. Okay, let's finish cleaning this out and then pan the pan out, because that's all we're going to have time for. It's starting to get late. Hopefully we got some gold in this one. Well, we've got our final pan right here. I know we got some gold in it because I seen a couple of pieces as I was loading it up. How much, I'm not sure, but we're going to pan it out. At least I know we didn't get snookered. They're getting a little on the warm side for this. I'm thinking my next video is going to be one in the water where it's a lot cooler. I can see some gold right there. I don't know if you can see that or not, but there's a piece right there. That's a good sign. Oh yeah, I'm seeing some gold in there. Turn this around a little bit. No nuggets, darn it. But you can't find them every day. Well, I think we're down where we can take a look. I'm seeing quite a bit of gold showing up there. Holy mackerel. That's a lot more than I expected. Well, that's pretty nice. One heavy piece right there. All right, I'll take it. Not bad. I'm guessing there's a couple pennyweights there anyway. Okay, well I'm going to clean this up and pack things up, because there's still got a nice long hike out of here. All right. Okay, I think we're going to have to call it a day. I'm getting a little on the tired side. Crevicing is a wonderful way to break into the world of mining. All you really need is a pan, a few crevice tools, and you're in business. Downside is it's a lot of work. You got to move a lot of rock, a lot of handwork. Don't forget your gloves. If you do, you're gonna regret it. Now, if you like what you see, please subscribe to my YouTube channel. I'm going to be trying to put videos on at regular intervals this summer. So if there's something you want me to cover, please let me know and I'll try to get to it. Till then, have a wonderful day.